how are you doing? I'm Jeanette from Boricua Sewing and Crafts, and welcome to Embroidery Happy Hour today. I already see we have a lot of people over in the chat and stuff. I am finally back home in Northern Virginia. It feels really good to be back. I do miss my family though. I had a really great time. Spending time with my mom, my sister, and the family. It was like the first time in like over 20 years that the family was together for Christmas. So it was kind of like really awesome. It's really hard for us to get together because they live in Florida and I'm over here in Virginia, and a lot of times I always used to go for Thanksgiving, but this year I wanted to change it up, and I went there for Christmas, and I really had a good time. And I got to meet up with Norma, and I see Norma. I think you're on the line. Yep, you are. And I had such a great time. Spending an afternoon with her. She showed me all the stuff that she embroidered and sewed, and I have to tell you, the stuff that she makes is beautiful. I loved it, especially her napkins. She makes these like really pretty napkins with like the lace on the edges. And I have to definitely try that. So I had such a really good time and everything. But I have to tell you, it does feel good to be home, and stuff. So I had a really nice time. So this for this happy hour, what I wanted to do was I was looking around the sewing room, right? Because when I got back from Miami, I purchased some fabrics from some of the stores. And while I was trying to, I was looking at the fabrics and stuff, and I was looking around my sewing room, and one of the things that I was thinking about was some of the things that I use a lot, and then some of the things that I purchased that I'm kind of like, this didn't really like work out right the way I wanted it to. So I thought this would be a really good video for especially those two that had just purchased an SC 1900, got that for Christmas. Because when you first get into it, there's just so many things that you have to buy, right? It's not just the machine. You get excited because of course the machine is the biggest price tag item that you buy, but then later on you have to start buying other supplies, right, as you start doing projects and everything, and you hear about different types of brands and different types of scissors and threads and all that kind of stuff. So I wanted to like take some time this Friday to talk to you guys about some of the things that I bought this year in 2021 that I tried out that I liked, or stuff that, I was kind of like, oh, this was definitely worth the money. And some stuff where I was kind of like, I shouldn't have gotten that. So I wanted to share that with you guys and stuff. So I got a whole bunch of stuff on the side, and I even wrote it all down. Best finds. Okay. And have a discussion with you guys about it. Now, one of the best stuff that I bought for this year was someone had posted on our Facebook group about the magnetic hoop for the that's a 5x12. Okay, and let me start moving the stuff around so that I can start sharing with you guys. I purchased this and I have not tried it yet. Okay, I did do a video and I did a side-by-side comparison. This is the magnetic hoop, okay, for the 5x12. I am going to do a video. I'm going to take a towel and I'm going to embroider the towel on this and do a video on it. I think I've been getting a lot better also in posting videos, because I think what I promised myself what I'm going to do for 2022 is, as I am in my room and I'm working on stuff, I'm going to videotape myself as I do it, because what ends up happening is sometimes I notice that I was just doing like one video like once a week or something like that. And there were times when I was in here and I was working on a project when I should have been videotaping it so that you guys could see some of the things that I work on and how to do them, right? So I told myself from now on, I'm just going to get in the habit of making sure I have the camera on. So whatever I'm working on, I can show you guys step by step what I'm doing, how I do it, and all that kind of stuff. So that way you guys can learn, okay? So one of the things that I am going to do is I am going to try this out because I really want to see it. this is the thing too with that magnetic hoop that I'm really interested in seeing how this works. I know how it works because we have the magnetic hoop for the 5x7, right? And I did a video on that, and it works great. But the size is a 5x7. This is a 5x12, and it's a repositional. So it's longer, of course, and during the embroidery process, you're going to be embroidering two files and not one. So what goes through my mind is when you have the magnetic hoop for the 5x7, you just take the hoop and you're just putting it once on your machine. You're laying it out. You're laying it down flat. You put it on. You have your little magnets around your item, and then you're embroidering, right? This is what I want to see when I try this 5x7. What happens when you have to lift up the hoop from the machine and reposition it? Will the fabric and everything in this hoop stay intact? Is the magnets going to be strong enough so that it doesn't shift your fabric? Because remember, that's what's important. If your fabric shifts while you're repositioning the hoop, you just messed up your whole design, because what's going to happen is the embroidery is going to be off, right? Because you know how the reposition hoop is two files. So what it does is it file one, which is the bottom half of your embroidery, then you move your hoop and then you do the other half. So it has to match up. Okay. So that way it's very well aligned. So I'm interested to see, and I want to do this with just the magnets that come in the box, not using any extra magnets, because I want to see how it works with that. Or if it doesn't work, does that mean that I have to go ahead and purchase extra magnets in order for the fabric or the item that I have hooped on this magnetic hoop to stay intact? So that's going to be the real reason why I want to do this, because I want to see that. I know that when I use the 5x12, the regular 5x12, I hooped the item and it was fine. It didn't move or anything like that. But I just want to see with the magnetic hoop, because I actually love my 5x7 magnetic hoop, because when I did the unboxing of this, you could see that you could see the space. There's a lot of space, and that makes it easier for you to take the hoop in and out of the machine. So it's going to be interesting to see how this comes out. So that is one thing that I'm definitely going to do. So to me right now, it's in the middle of a best find and a no because I really want, to me it's I say it's a go when I see that it actually works the way it's supposed to work, and it really makes your life easier. So that video will be coming up. That is something that I plan on working on this weekend, taking a towel and I'm going to embroider it just like I did with the 5x12 in the other video. I did my name on a towel. I'm going to do the same thing but with the magnetic hoop, and let's see how that goes. Okay, so the next thing that I think was a big buy for me this year was a hot knife. Okay, this is something, there's lots of hot knives on Amazon, but this is one that I purchased, and I'm gonna tell you something, for embroidery this is a really good handy tool. Okay, I got this idea from Liliana from Embroid Now. Um, and Liliana, if you are out there, thank you so much for posting that video on this. What she does, and I started doing, is I plug this in, and when you're embroidering, and then you look at the back of your embroidery, you're gonna see like some tails and stuff like that, right? Take this, and just go over it when it's when it's nice and hot. Just go over it, and what it'll do, it'll burn off the excess tails that you have behind your embroidery file. Okay, and also if you're doing patches, one of the things she was doing was the side right here, when this gets really hot, take the size of your patch and then just roll it over. Okay, and what that'll do is it'll seal it. Okay, so it gives it a much crispier finish on the side. So this was something that she did a video on, and when I saw her do that, I was like, oh man, because I've heard of people taking a lighter and just brushing it with the with the lighter and stuff. But I gotta tell you, I'm a chicken when it comes to that, because I think E from the baby booty, at one video I saw her take one of those lighters with the long ones, and she did it over a baseball hat, right? I think she brushed it over the inside of a baseball hat. Well, I'm scared of fire. I'm like, I'm really a chicken when it comes to that. Okay. So when it's like I just didn't want to try that, because I have this vision that I turned it on and the whole thing goes poof. So I just don't want to do it. So but when Liliana showed this device, I was like, okay, this is simple, it's controllable. This is just really heated up. I really like this kit. It came with like a little stand, so it's like I can have this here and I can just hook it up here, so I feel like it's safe. And I already know. I know that when this turns hot, not to touch it. You know what I mean? So this was a really, really great idea. It was pretty inexpensive. I think it was like maybe $15. So I was kind of like, oh, okay. So this to me was a really good buy that I did this year by watching her. And I thought that was like, oh, that is like really cool. Another thing that I invested in this year that I thought was like something that it was kind of like, it's about time you did that. My husband was really happy because what I did was I went downstairs and I stole his kitchen scale. So I was using his kitchen scale to weigh my packages when I was packaging them out to go, when I was doing my orders for Etsy, right? So, because you always want to make sure that you know exact weight of your package so that when you're printing out shipping labels, you're not like underpaying, because if you underpay, then what happens is the post office is going to ship it right back to you. So I went and I got my own, where is it? And I finally invested in one, and I really like this one a lot. It's called a AU Tech. This one, AU Tech. Here it is, and it has a maximum weight of, I believe, 86 pounds. I doubt very much I'm gonna like send anything that's 86 pounds. I think the most I ever send anything out is probably like 2 or 3 pounds, something like that. But I really like this scale. It worked really well, very clear. It's been very precise too. So I finally got my very own postage scale so that I can do my orders. And Fred got his kitchen scale back, so because he likes to weigh his food and stuff. He's into this health stuff, he's always looking at that stuff. So me, I'm like the most unhealthy eater you can have. I mean, you put a burger in front of me and I got that. Okay. So it's like that's just me. All right. Another good buy, okay, that I bought. And this came as a suggestion from somebody on Facebook, on our Facebook group. Okay. Um, this I did not even think about, and then I was like, oh man, that is like so cool. Is these things. Okay. I mean, the eyelash brush. Okay. Someone in our Facebook group, and I am so sorry I'm mentioning these ideas from the Facebook group, and I don't know the names. I just remember the idea. But if you're part of the chat, thank you, thank you. This was an awesome idea. I use this to clean the SC1900 and my multi-needle machines. This really picks up the lint a lot better than that little lint brush that you get with the machine. Now, the lint brush that you get with the machine is still good, don't get me wrong, but I really feel that this really gets in there and really lifts up the lint, okay? And I did go a little crazy on the buy, but these are like so cheap. They were like, I think it was like $5.99, and I think I bought 500. I'm not sure, but I have like a whole bunch of these things. Okay. Um, and these are, to me, a must have. So this is really, really good. And for you guys that just started sewing or just started embroidering, I'm just going to say this because I know me, I didn't know, okay, that you were supposed to be cleaning your machine. Please, if you're starting out, get into the habit of doing that. It's so important. I did not clean my machine for like, I think 7 months, and then the machine started acting up. And when I opened it up, it had so much lint in there. It was like, it was bad. And, and I was kind of like, okay. So now I know why my tension was all off, and, and I kept getting nesting and all that kind of stuff. And it was because I had to clean that area. I had no idea that that was something that you had to do. I had no idea that when you're sewing, lint comes off of the thread, and that's what you have to clean in that area. So, if you're new to that, that's why I just want to say, because not everybody knows, what I'm saying? Nobody, unless you are an experienced sewer, then you don't know that you have to do all this stuff. So, but these brushes, definitely a good buy. I mean, I was just like, that was a really good tip that I got, that was put on our Facebook group, and it's something that I really, really recommend. And very, very cheap. And you don't even have to get them on Amazon. I think you may even find these at the dollar store or something. And it's not like you can use them once and just throw them away. You know what I'm saying? You can use, I have not even thrown out one brush away since I bought these, because all I do is I just clean them. I take a damp cloth, and then I just clean off the lint on them. You know what I'm saying? So this is something that you can, it's gonna last for a long time. So you don't have to go crazy the way like I did crazy. I mean, I went and bought like so many of these. So I have a feeling that I won't be buying any more of these lint brushes for a really long time. I'll probably be like maybe in hopefully my late 80s or something by the time I finish all these 500 things. So just wanted to show you guys that too. I wrote a whole list of all the stuff. So I'm going to go down all the stuff and everything that I thought was like a really, really good buy. Okay. Oh, another thing that I really liked, and I have to go get it real quick. I'm going to go get it real quick. I'm still talking, guys. So anyway, remember when I told you guys that you should not just, if you're thinking about selling embroidery, right? And some people say, they're like, oh, I want to open up an Etsy shop and all that kind of stuff. And I came out and I said, hey, you know what? You could even sell locally, right? So what would happen is when I was selling locally, people would come and they'd pick up their products, and I would have the plastic bag and stuff like that, but I didn't have any bags that for to give to the customer to put their item in. Like when you go to the store, you buy something, they have their own little bag. So I just went on Amazon and I found these cute bags. Thank you. So, I just went and I just bought like 100, and then I have them here. And then whenever I make a sale that's locally, like in my neighborhood or something like that, then I can, if they buy a golf towel or whatever it is, I can put it in here. So I just went and I got this size because usually the stuff that I make is not like huge, huge. So I can just give it to them in this. Very inexpensive. And this was pretty good. I mean, the only thing is they're a little bit challenging to open, but I don't have nails. I started biting my nails. I can't believe I did. I've been doing that. I used to have long nails and stuff, and then I started biting my nails. I think it's the anxiety starting to kick in. Okay, but but they're good bags. They are. It's just that for me, it's just sometimes a little like, oh, I gotta open them up and stuff like that. But they're really cute. They're good bags. And if you go on Amazon, just do like thank you bags, thank you shopping bags and stuff. They have so many different styles and all that kind of stuff and everything, and they're not that bad. And you got to remember too, if you are running a business, This is a business expense. Okay. So and that's another thing too. Someone did reach out and they said they wanted me to touch a little bit about expenses and stuff like that. And I'm gonna talk a little bit about that too tonight. Okay. But let me go down the list and stuff like that, and then I'll tell you a little bit. But thank you, Bex. This is cute, and I thought those were really a good buy, and they're pretty strong and all that kind of stuff. The material's really really good and stuff like that. So that was pretty good. Oh, okay. I also got a studio light kit, but see, because I'm a YouTuber, right? The first couple of videos that I did, you can see that I was like looking kind of dark. I'm hoping that I'm not looking dark anymore. So my husband went and he got us a studio light kit. Now it's kind of funny. I think we kind of went a little overboard. It has like a green screen and all that kind of stuff. I'm really not doing all that green screen kind of thing, right? Because me, it's like, hey, I kind of like my videos raw, right? I'm not into all this like fancy bells and whistles and all that kind of stuff. I just like to give the information because the way I look at it is, people are searching for information. They want to know how to do something. So my whole thing is I don't mind entertaining. But and to me that's what the happy hour is for, is so that we can have conversations and answer questions and engage with each other. But I know that when I do my other videos, a lot of times I really like to teach you guys something. I want to show you something. So I don't want to I'm not into the big fancy bells and whistles and stuff. I just kind of like to be kind of like, I'm a direct kind of person, like, hey, look, this is what you can do, and let me show you how to do it. So that way you guys can get the information you need and do your thing. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, but we did end up getting a studio light kit with the green screen. I don't know if we're gonna do anything with the green screen, but we'll see. All right. Now, sewing thread. As you guys can see behind me, well, I have the table under the way. I got two sewing machines back here now. I'm gonna move this over here now. I have two. I have my SC1900, my little baby, okay, and it's still my favorite. And then I have my Jujuki 2010. Cute, okay. It was in Carlito's room. All right. Now I had to move it from Carlito's room to here. So I'm kind of struggling a little bit with space right now. So I'm gonna reorganize the room, okay, to try to make it more accommodating and stuff, because I don't want my son to feel like he lost his space at home, because this is his home too. So I am going to start, even though he went away to college and stuff, and it did go a little crazy, and I started putting stuff in his room, but I'm going to start to take all this stuff out, and it's not that much that I put, but that's why I wanted to move the machine over here, because he's home now, and I like him feeling like he's home. You know what I mean? I don't want him to ever feel like this is not his home. So anyway, I think you guys know what you mean, that you know what I mean if you're a mom, okay? You always want your kids to have that safe place, right? So this is what I've always told. This is your safe place, is your home. This is where you come every time. I mean, no matter what, okay? So he knows that. But the thing is, it's kind of hard to understand that when you got a sewing machine, it ain't yours. So anyway, so I moved it out. So I got the Jujuki there. I think I'm going to switch them up though, because I do use my SC1900 more than my Juki. The Juki is just a straight stitch. It's a Juki 2010Q. It's pre industrial, and I do love it. Stitches like 1500 stitches per minute. So I really do love it. So anyway, because that's a sewing machine, that's not an embroidery machine, I had to buy sewing thread, right? So I went and I purchased Brother Reed sewing thread. And I ended up buying like a case that was like a whole bunch of different colors. And I think you guys can kind of see them right over here. All right, so I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like these. They're not there's not something that I would recommend. And I'm not saying they're bad, but one of the things that I will say is they kind of feel, they don't feel there's a lot of fuzz. There's a lot of fuzz around it. Now, if any of you guys are like sewers out there, please let me know if I'm wrong, okay? Because I'm not sure about it. But when you deal a lot with embroidery thread is 40 weight. It's very thin and it's very like smooth, right? And I think if I think that because I'm so used to looking at embroidery thread and now I'm looking at sewing thread, that it's kind of like, it's this is what it's supposed to be. That's what I'm thinking, that this is, but it's just maybe my expectation is that I'm thinking that sewing thread is supposed to look like embroidery thread, and they're I know they're not, because they're two separate things. But when I look at sewing thread, okay, to me, and I don't know if you guys can tell, trying to see if I can do it. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it kind of, it looks cheap. I'm just gonna say, okay, it just looks like cheap thread. All right, so I don't know. So I mean, I'm still going to use it. I mean, I bought it. I mean, it's really nothing wrong with it. It's just that it doesn't have that soft, silky look that embroidery thread has. Okay? So it's just something that I don't know, Oh, I see my sister's asking if, okay, I have not shown the fabrics that I bought, but I'll show them since she put it out there. Thank you, Nancy. Lisa. I'm joking. Okay. I went fabric shopping with my sister, so I'll show you guys that. But let me go down the list real quick of the things that I like and the things that I didn't like, because I know there's a lot of folks out there that, just got their machines. And like I said, I want you guys to know what it is that I've tried that I kind of like, because, or stuff that I looked at that I was like, don't even spend your money on. Okay. So the sewing thread, it was kind of like, eh. This was like, I didn't like it too much. So what I would recommend for sewing thread is go to the store and buy the thread, okay? Especially for sewing, so that you can look at it. All right. If I would have saw this at the store, it wouldn't have been something that would have went home with me. So just, I do like that it came with all these colors, because you can see there's a lot of colors and stuff like that. But I don't know if I'm going to use all those colors. So that was just something that is kind of like, okay, we'll see. All right, so this sewing thing. All right, I'm going down my list over here. Okay, so let me next page. Whew, we got 3 pages here. Okay. And I know I'm going really fast and stuff like that, but it's just that I just wanted to where did you get your Juki? I got it off of Amazon, and I have a link to it and stuff in the Amazon store and stuff. Christine. So I got it off of Amazon. I mean, they just ship it to you and stuff. So no problem. That's where I got mine. Okay. Oh, there. Okay. Next one. Snips. Let's talk about snips. When you're sewing, you have snips, right? So I have 3 different kinds of snips in here. Okay. Now, I'm gonna tell you, these are the ginger snips. I have to tell you, at first when I bought them, I was kind of like, oh, they're kind of bulky, stuff like that. These are my favorite. My favorite. Super sharp. They do really good. These are my favorite. Love them. Okay. I even like the little hoop. At first I got these and I was like, what's up with the hoop? But you know what? I put them in on my hand or my thumb and stuff like that. And it's worth it. It's worth it. Okay. Little pricey. Okay. Because these are the and I know I'm gonna say it wrong. Ginger brand. Okay. But I'm gonna tell you something. These scissors, I noticed the most expensive scissors that I've gotten are the ones that are the sharpest and the best. And it kind of hurts that you got to spend that much money on it. But then when you get it, you're like, I got my money's worth. Okay. Now, these I got off of Amazon. I kind of liked them. However, I started having problems. I bought these first from Amazon and they worked great, right? Then what happened was, you know how things just disappear, okay? I don't know if somebody took them, You never know, because sometimes, people, at home, sometimes they're like, oh, let me grab some scissors, and they just grab it, then they forget to give it back to you, whatever. But anyway, or I could have lost it. You never know, because sometimes, things accidentally fall in the garbage and stuff. But I got these, and I wanted to buy two more. I went and I ordered two more from Amazon. They were dull. So I was kind of like, really? I'm like, all right. So they were not cutting the fabric as smooth as the first pair that I bought from them. So right there, I was kind of like, all right. So now it's getting kind of iffy. So I kind of like looked at it as, how sometimes you buy a product and then it comes out really, really great. And then when you go to rebuy it, it's like the quality of that product changed. So I feel like that's what happened with these. Okay. So now they're not as sharp. So to me, it's kind of like, okay, these are kind of like dull. So I just kind of like have them. The other snips that I have, which I do like, are the Cricut. Okay. Cricut has these little snips, and these were actually the first snips that I had. And they are sharp, but they do get dull. Okay. I've had this for quite some time, and I already started noticing my blades are getting a little dull. So they I wouldn't say that they're cheap, but they're not exactly pricey either. But let's just say that I think I believe this is kind of like in the middle portion. Hey Trisha, thank you so much for super chat. I appreciate it. Mwah. Anyway, but in the middle, okay? Do know that if you invest in these, after a while, they're gonna get dull, okay? I will say I have had these gingers for quite some time now. I don't remember how much I paid. I got them off of Amazon. All these things that I'm talking about too, if you go to my Amazon storefront, I have them all there. They're all listed and stuff like that. This is definitely worth the money. Okay. Had them for a while. They are still very, very sharp. Okay. And they're actually my favorite. I mean, they really do cut really well. At first, when I got them, I was kind of like, ooh, they're kind of like on the heavy side, but it's the quality. That's what you're paying for. You're paying for the quality. So to me, it's like there's certain things that it's worth the extra dollars. And then there's other things that I would be like, oh, you don't really have to spend that much. You know what I mean? Because it just depends on what it is and what you're using it for, right? So to me, the scissors is something where the investment should be there, because the scissors is what's going to help you cut your fabric, your threads, and all that kind of stuff, and you want to make sure that you have nice smooth cuts. So I do believe that you should really invest on at least some good scissors and all that kind of stuff and everything. So I wanted to tell you guys about that. Another thing that was really good, and let me show you, is heat and bond adhesive. Okay, I did not even know that heat and bond adhesive came in this size. So if you are sewing and you need to sew like a hem or something like that, this is great. Okay, so that's more on like the sewing side, not the embroidery side. You know what I'm saying? But if I need to hem some pants or something like that, I use this, and then I'll just sew on top. I got this idea from Eve from the Baby Booty. She was doing a video, and then she showed this. So I was just like, oh wow. And then I just went and got two packs. And this has been really good because I'm 4'11. I'm short. I'm petite. So a lot of times when I buy pants, I always gotta cut the bottom. I gotta cut the bottom and hem them and stuff. So the laundromat used to love me because every time I bought a new suit or something like that, it's money to hem the pants, which is why I used to always buy skirt suits and everything. Another good thing that I got this idea from Miss Z. She's from the um Aqua Bloom Boutique and stuff. I was watching her making these shirts, right? The kid shirts. And what she did was she was trying to find the center point of her shirt, right? Now, a lot of times you will take a shirt and you iron it in half, and then that will give you the center point of the shirt when you're going to go and embroider, right? Or napkin or whatever you're trying to do. And trying to find the center point, just take the item, put it in half. What ends up happening is sometimes when you iron it, right? And by the time you get to hoop it and everything, sometimes that crease can go away, right? Because you don't want to like crease it too hard, because then what ends up happening is you kind of like have that crease like this, right? And you actually want your item to be flat, but then you want to see that line. So one of the things that I saw her do was she was using these stickers. She had these little round stickers. And what she did was she was taking the shirts and she was folding them in half. She was ironing them. And then when she saw the crease, she was taking a sticker and she was placing it on the crease of the child's shirt, which I know you can do if you're doing a dinner napkin or anything else that you're embroidering, and you need to make sure that you're at that center point. Use a dot. These are this is so super cheap. I'm telling you, they were like really cheap. And this is a whole big pack of, I mean, sheets and sheets of different color. And I didn't even pull them out more. There's more in here, okay? So this would also last you a very long time. So very inexpensive, and it's a good way for you to mark where your center point is at an item. So, shout out to Zola from Aqua Bloom Boutique. When I was watching her YouTube channel and she did that, I was just like, that is so like, that's smart. I was like, oh, that girl, she got it. All right. So I just went online and I just purchased my own pack, and I actually use these when I'm embroidering shirts. And I've actually used them also when I'm embroidering logos and stuff for a customer. Just use these so that way you know exactly where it is that you need to embroider the logo, the center of the logo. There you go. Okay. Now, if you don't want to use these, another alternative, okay? If you have in Brilliance software, what you do is when you have your design, like a logo or whatever the design is, print it out. If you print it out, and I think I've done this in videos in the past, you'll get the actual printout of your design, and it'll have like a little cross right dead center of the design. Take that printout, put it where you want it, on the shirt or the towel or whatever your bag or whatever you're doing, pin it on there, and then when you hoop it on your machine, bring the needle down when it's in the center point to make sure that the needle is hitting that center point of the paper. Once you know that you have it directly in place, that's when you can just remove that piece of paper and go to town and just embroider. So just another tip, if you don't want to do this, okay? I mean, there's just so many different ways to do things. And then even if you don't want to do the stickers and you don't want to print out the thing, you can just do it like a lot of people do. Just take the shirt, fold it in half, iron it, and just follow the crease. Okay. My whole thing is sometimes I don't really iron it that hard. So sometimes by the time I'm done with hooping it properly and everything, the crease will fade. And then I'm kind of like eyeballing it because I'm trying to remember where that crease was. So this was a great buy to me. It wasn't that expensive, and it was worth to me the money. I mean, I don't remember how much this was for a whole pack of all these little dots. It was about, I think, like maybe $5 or $6. Got them right off of Amazon too. Okay, what else I got on the line here? Okay, Best Buy, my Jujuki machine. I do love that machine. It is a workhorse. Okay, still love my brother SC1900. Trust me. But the thing is, this my Jujuki TL this machine right here, it just sews straight stitches. That's it. It doesn't do any zigzagging stitches, no decorative stitches or anything. It's just a straight stitch machine. That machine, I love it because I like to sew my scrunchies, or if I'm doing bags or something like that, and I just need straight stitches, then that's the machine that I like to do it on. However, if I need decorative stitches and I need zigzag stitches and I need to sew on a button and all that kind of stuff, I go to my SC1900 because the SC1900 has all those features and everything like that. And I don't just want to go back and forward between the two machines because the SC1900 does straight stitches too, and they're just as good. So, to me, it depends on what it is that I'm doing. That determines what machine I'm going to use. Okay. Um, Also, y'all gonna laugh at this. Okay. I bought a magnifying glasses. Okay. And it's this. Okay. Let me show you what this is. Okay. Sometimes you can be embroidering, and there is a stitch in the fabric that you need to get out. But the thing is, you know, the older you get, okay, because I am getting up there, the worse you see, right? So what this is these are glasses, okay, and it comes with a kit of different types of magnifying, right, or different solutions and stuff. So what you do is you just take this and you put this on here, you clip it on, and then you just put it on, okay, and then you can, with your hands free, remove stitches or anything like that that you want, okay, and you can see everything. It's much better. Instead, I think I pulled out a hair. Okay, so anyway, this was really a good buy. All right. Another reason why I use this also is, let's say I need to fix something on my machine, like uh right during Christmas, my needle threader broke on my 1055X. I needed to get that replaced. So my husband did that. But in order to do that, it's everything is so tiny and small. And that this is what he used so that he was able to see, right, where the needle was and stuff like that. And the needle threader, the hook was going into the needle. So this is really, really good. Now, do you have to get something fancy like this? No. I just got it because it has the different types of vision, right? So it has all these different lenses. So depending on what you need, how strong you need it to be. One of the things you can do is the dollar store has these. Okay, here's another one that I have. I have a magnifying glass. You can pick these up at the dollar store. They have them right there on the shelf. You don't got to get nothing fancy and stuff. But I'm telling you, have one of these handy because sometimes when you want to thread the needle by hand or something like that, this works. I mean, and I don't even know where I got this one from. This was an old one that Fred had, and I just snagged it. But I know that the dollar store has them because I've seen them on the wall and stuff. They have the ones that with the little handle and stuff like that. So just when you see one in the dollar store, just pick one up and put it right by your sewing machine in the drawer or something like that. Trust me, there's gonna be a moment when you might want you might want to see it. Another thing too that this is really handy also, I was just looking at my needles, okay? Sometimes depending on what you're doing will determine the type of needle that you're going to use, right? So when I am embroidering, the size needle that I usually use is a 7511. If I am embroidering something that has very small fonts, I have to use a needle that's 65.9, okay? Sometimes also depending on the material, I will not use a ballpoint needle. I'll use a sharp needle. For instance, if I am going to go and embroider a baseball hat on my multi-needle machine or even on the SC1900, if I take one of my baseball hats, I like to embroider with a sharp needle. So a lot of times what happens is these needles, okay, they have what they are and their size number. It's on the edge, right? Now I'm gonna tell you something. The way that these are marked, very, very, very tiny. Okay. If you can read that without glasses, God bless you. I'm telling you, you got good vision. Me, nope. I will squint all day and put it in the light and everything. However, though, you have a magnifying glass, you can go like this and you can read it so clear that it says organ and the size of the needle and everything. So trust me, get get a magnifying glass, put it in the drawer, because there have been lots of times when I have been sewing all day, right? And like I said, depending on what you're doing, that will determine the type of needle and the size needle that you're going to be using. So sometimes when you wake up in the morning, you're too tired. You don't remember what you had in your machine, right? So a lot of times I have to go in and I have to take the needle out, take the magnifying glass and read it to make sure that it is the right needle for what I'm going to embroider next. So just something to think about, you know. And to consider, because to me it was worth the money. This, I actually got these because these worked really well for me and Fred, whenever, because you see the other one's handheld, right? But when you are working with something and you need both hands free, then these type of magnifying glasses are really good to have, because that way you can just put on the lens, put it on, and you just do your thing. Okay, so I thought it was worth the money. So it was something definitely that I would recommend having, but you don't have to have it. But I do recommend you have some type of magnifying glass. So if you don't want to get the ones that you put the glasses on, I say get the handheld one, and you should be good. Okay. So all right, what else do I have here? Okay. The oil pen. Okay. There are a lot of different machine oils out there. I have two types that I usually use. Um, Let me see if I have the first one. The machine usually comes with this bottle. But I'm talking, this is multi-needle, okay? If you have a Brother SC1900, you do not oil it. Don't oil it. Do not oil it, okay? That doesn't need oil, okay? But if you have a multi-needle machine, usually it comes with its own oil. Now, I don't like these containers. You know why? Because when you open them up, you have to cut it. But when you cut it, remember, this is oil and this thing will spill out. So I usually like to have my own containers for it. And when I look at the containers for the oil, I like mine to have a point like this, because I feel that this really helps you to control the type of oil that's going to come out of it. Because remember, you don't throw a whole bunch of oil on your machine. You're supposed to put drops. Okay. So this helps me control it. So I have this one. This is an oil that I use. Okay. This works very well. And then I also have the one that's a pen. Okay. It's the same thing. It has the same type of end. Okay. And it works really well. I just, you just have to be careful when you're oiling machines. And if you have the Juki like I have right here, very thirsty machine. That machine requires oil. Okay. So every time I go to turn it on, I always put a drop of oil in there. And the same thing with my serger. I have a Brother 1034DX serger, very thirsty machine as well. So, and then I have these two multi-needle machines. The only machine that I have that doesn't require oil is the Brother SC1900. All my other machines in here love to drink oil. So they're oil aholics, whatever. Like alcoholics, they're oil aholics and stuff. So I think I'm creating words over here. So that those to me are a good buy. I mean, I know sometimes they have the oil, they sell them by like the bottle, but to me it's like you don't use that much, right? Well, you do use a lot, but to me, these I've been sewing for like 3 years, and I've been oiling my machines for 3 years, and those little containers seem to last pretty good. So if you have like 15, 20 machines, then yeah, I could see the investment of getting all those big bottles and stuff like that. But I didn't find getting a big bottle was a big deal for me. All right, and now let's talk more about scissors, okay? I recently purchased a pair of scissors, and I ain't gonna lie, these things they cost, okay? This is the KAI 7280 11-inch scissor, okay? I bought these so that I can cut my fabric. All right. I will tell you this. This, I believe it was like 50 bucks or something like that. And I got it off of Amazon. That I do not find these in Joann's or anything like that, which kind of like sucks. Ginger is at Joann's. So if you get a coupon from Joann's, and remember, Joann has military discount. And if you're a senior, make sure you ask them, do you have senior discount? Do you have AAA discount? Everywhere I go, I think I get on my family's nerves because every store I walk into, I'm always like, what discount you got? You know, because I don't like spending my money. But this, they do not sell at Joann's. They do not have them at Hobby Lobby. They don't have them at Michael's and stuff. I had to get them from Amazon. And I'm going to tell you something, as expensive as these scissors are, they are a favorite. I am telling you, very, very, very sharp, very lightweight. They fit really good in your hands and they cut like butter. I mean, it's like, wow. I was like, I would spend the money again, definitely. And I'm even thinking this is an 11-inch. I'm thinking of investing in maybe an 8-inch, getting a smaller scissor and stuff like that. But I do like that brand, the Kaya brand, which is KAI. But this was, yeah, these are the Kaya, the 7280. And this is the 11-inch. And I'm telling you, you will not disappoint. I mean, this is really good. One of the things that I recommend you do, what I like about Amazon is you can return, right? You order something, you don't like it, you just take it back. I am telling you guys, this scissor is like a wow. Okay. So it's worth the money. If you guys have Amazon and stuff like that, and you guys want to give it a shot, I would say do it. And then, if you don't like it, just send it back. You know what I'm saying? But I'm telling you, what's going to happen is you're probably going to like it because that was my frame of mind when I bought it. I was like, God, it's so expensive. I was like, all right, well, they come back and I feel like it's kind of tacky or whatever. I'll just send it back. Well, no, it stayed here because I was like, I just love the way it cuts. Okay. Now, sticking with that brand, okay, I love this rotary cutter. Okay. One of the things that I like about this rotary cutter is that the way that this unlocks is by pressure. So when you are pushing down, see how it exposes the blade? Okay. So I just feel like this is a lot safer than the other rotary cutters that you get. Um, this one right here, and I'm gonna show you my Cricut rotary cutter. I am telling you, I feel like this is like murder, okay? This is like kill me, why don't you? I don't like it, okay? It has this is where it unlocks, okay? And stuff. What I don't like about this is it's just I feel like this blade is too exposed, okay? I have already cut myself twice with this, and it was not pretty, okay? And I know E from the Baby Booty just recently, like I think a month ago, accidentally cut one of her fingers off with a rotary cutter. I don't know what rotary cutter she was using, but I know with this one, with the Cricut one, like it was just. So don't I don't personally. This is not for me. Okay, I mean you could try it if you want, but it's not for me. And I think it's a fear thing because my finger almost came off twice with this sucker. So I just don't like it. I don't like the way it opens up. I feel like it's too free. And it's just like it was like an accident waiting to happen. So it was this to me is like a no-no. Okay. Now the other rotary cutter that I tried after this was the OFA. Okay. This it's okay. But I felt the same way about this rotary cutter, okay, because it's just too, you could just, I don't know, it's just, it bothered me, So what I do is I actually do use it though, but what I do is I change the blade and I use the pinky spear blades on this one. And I really like this. I use this a lot to cut the tender touch that I iron in for shirts after I finish embroidering, and the dinner napkins and my kitchen towels. I always use tender touch on them, and this is what I use to cut the tender touch. So, this is the OFA, and it has a lock. The red thing right here is the lock. You push it, and then you can't do it anymore. But it's just I guess because maybe it's a psychological thing for me. I don't know that because of what happened to me twice with that cricket rotary cutter, I just like don't like it when it's exposed like this. But some reason I just feel that this is safer. I have never had an accident with it. And I just like that this only exposes when you push down. And so and I've actually gotten a lot better. I now make sure my hands are like where they should be. So sometimes you learn the hard way, right? So that's how I learned. Two was enough for me, and I think the third time might be the time that I actually slice off the finger. So I'm just like, yeah. So I'm always really careful. And one of the things I always tell people too when it comes to rotary cutters is take your time. Don't rush it, because that is when you position your hand in the wrong place. Because I'm telling you, that's what happened to me. Because I was just cutting and cutting and cutting and cutting all the stabilizer, and I wasn't really like paying attention, and you just start going faster. And then before you know it, accident. So take your time, enjoy the cut. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. It's just like sewing. You want to enjoy your sewing project and stuff. Don't rush it. You don't have to like hit the presser foot and act like you're in a race and stuff. Same thing with the cutter, the loading cutter. Take your time cutting your fabric. Don't rush it, because next thing you know, you're gonna end up with, thing. Another thing that I bought, and this was pretty good. I don't use it a lot. This is from, oh, I don't know, quilting something, but I'm sure you'll see these. You'll see these in Joann's, okay? Get a small one. I particularly don't really care for that same concept as the Cricut one, but see, because it comes out like that, and I don't like the exposure like that. But one of the things that's good about these small rotary cutters is if you are cutting fabric and there's an angle or a curve, this is what you want to use. It makes it so much easier for you to do the curves and stuff like that, and to cut the angles and everything, than using the big ones. Okay. So, I mean, I know sometimes people, they just buy one size rotary cutter and stuff, and they're like, okay, I'm good with that. But trust me, there is a reason why you have the big ones, the small ones, the medium ones, because each of them do have a specific purpose. Okay. And this is really, really great when you are cutting out a pattern and you have some kind of curve or something, or an angle. This really does help. Okay. So I bought this and I do use it. I use it. But like I said, it's not my favorite because of how it exposed the blades. Okay, see how it is? It's the same thing as like the Cricut, but it's just a small version of it. So I'm always like super careful when I do that. So as you can tell, I kind of have like a love-hate relationship with rotary cutters and stuff. It's not something that is kind of like me. Okay. Now, another thing that I wanted to show you was, and I don't know if I have it around me right now, is I did a video on the snag needle. Maybe I have it here. I think I might have it in my little box. I bought this from Miami too. I like these little boxes. This was a splurge buy, okay, with a coupon and everything. Okay. Oh yeah, I have it. All right. Now, I did a video on the snag needle. I think this is a very good investment, because and these are little things that I bought from the dollar store, and I keep my needles in here. These are really good if you have a snag in your fabric, okay? It, and it's not just really something that you would just use in your sewing room in case, you're sewing and the fabric has a little snag. Let's say you have a sweater and the sweater has a little pull. Take this needle and you can fix it. Okay. If you don't know how a snag repair needle works, I do have a video on the channel that shows exactly how you use this. Very, very handy. They're inexpensive. I got this from Hobby Lobby. I'm sure you can probably pick it up from Joann's and stuff like that, and you could probably use a coupon. So just something, that's good and handy to have. Okay, something that I recommend. So to me, this is a good buy. Something that you do want to have handy with you. Um, Let me also talk to you about pins. Okay, I thought I wrote it in here because I just looked at that. There are two types of pins that I have purchased. When I had first started to sew, right, went and I invested in these type of pins. They're cute. I'm gonna be honest. Sometimes I buy this because I'm like, oh, this is cute. I'm gonna buy it. Now, these do work. However, I noticed an issue with some of these pins. Okay. As cute as they are inexpensive pins. And one of the problems that I've had with them is that these heads, okay, the heads of these pins sometimes come off. Okay. It depends on, I guess, maybe there's a glue in there or something like that. There have been times when I've been using the pins and maybe I'm forcing it too much. I don't know. But these heads come off. I have some with different designs. I even have some with little bows and stuff like that. And sometimes these fall out. So I they weren't that expensive, okay? And I did get a lot in the box. So it's not like, the end of the world, one broke, right? It's not like that. But I was kind of like, all right, if I had to do it all over again, would I buy these type of pins? I don't think so because I kind of want stuff that's gonna last, right? So, I mean, and they are just pins. However, though, I went and looked into these pins, and I have to admit, I kind of like them. Now, they have different types. These are called magic pins. And I'm going to tell you something, I really do like them. And I'm going to take one out and I'm going to show you why I like them. Now, first of all, I could tell right off the bat by looking at the magic pin and then looking at the pin that I purchased, the quality is very different. I don't know if you can really tell, okay, but it's just, I don't know, for some reason I feel like these pins right here are like sturdier. I just feel the quality is a lot better. Then also, I really do like the top of these pins, okay? What I like is that these have little ridges, okay? And the ridges right here kind of make it a little easier for you to grab, right? And I've never had a problem with any of these tops falling off on the magic pins. The only downside about the magic pins is they're not as cheap in price as these pins, okay? With these pins, they were pretty they were kind of cheap, and I got a big box and it came in different sizes, okay? It was short pins, long pins, and all that kind of stuff. So with these, they were a little pricier. You only got one size, and they do come in this little case, okay? But they came in a little case, and you get a fair amount. You get a good fair amount, but of course, like they're only one size, and like I said, for the price of this little case, I got like a whole bunch of these. Okay. So just gotta kind of wait. You know what I mean? So it's like, oh, I don't know. I mean, it depends. It may not bother you that, that some of these may break while you're using them and stuff. Then you just toss them out. Um, and another thing too, if they do break and you toss them out, someone gave me a really cute, good tip. Oh, I don't think I have it on me now. Okay, well, all right, because I think I threw it out. Get a pill box, okay? If you finish your pills or whatever, or you got someone in the family, empty bottle of pills, okay? Use that to throw away your old needles, okay? When that gets full, then you just toss it out. Which reminds me, I gotta tell Fred to give me another pill box. Because what'll happen is this is an old spice thing, and this is where I put a lot of bobbins in, so that way you throw your pills in here, and then when I mean your pills, you don't throw your pills in here, your needles, you take your needles and you throw them in the pill box. Okay, then you close it and then you throw them in the trash, and then you don't have to worry about somebody accidentally getting hurt with the needles and stuff like that. So that was the tip that somebody gave me, which I thought was like really awesome, and it's something that I do. So every time I have like any type of pin that breaks, or old needles and stuff like that, I put them in a pill bottle, and then I just close it. And then when the pill bottle gets full, then I just throw the whole pill bottle away with all the needles inside. So that's a pretty good tip and stuff. So I want to talk to you about that. Let me see. Extenders was a really, really good buy for me. If you on the SC1900, you know that you have your USB port, right? Well, when you are putting in, you're gonna be putting that USB flash drive in and out of that machine so many times, right? And it did not dawn on me that you don't want that to go bad. So if you get an extender and you plug this into your SC1900, you're going to be plugging the drive on this end. Okay, so that means that this isn't going to be going in and out of the machine all the time, right? So then what happens is you're just putting in the information there. These work great, and it's a great investment, because you don't want to mess up your machine. Because if that drive gets messed up from you going in and out, because wear and tear, nothing lasts forever. This will help extend the life of your machine. Okay, because the last thing you want to do is have to go to service, and then they have to fix it, and then you got to pay. Ugh, you don't want to deal with that. So try to always look for stuff to try to extend the life of your machine, and this was one of them. So to me, this was like a really, really handy thing to do, to buy and stuff and invest in. So I would say definitely get one of those. Okay. Another thing that I highly recommend that people get, okay, is if you're doing scrunchies, or if you do stuff where you have to insert, how in scrunchies, how you're putting in the elastic, and you're putting it through the tube and stuff like that. These things, this is from Culver, and it's called a Bakken. And what I really love about this, okay, is that you open this up from here, right? And then you take whatever it is that you need to insert it through the tube, okay? And you just put it in here, and you close it, you snap, and then look. And then this is so flexible that I could just shove it in and then do it. I use this for my scrunchies. It's like it's so cool. I love this thing. So this was definitely a good buy. I got this off of Hobby Lobby. Okay, I'm sure you could probably get it from Joann's too. I know Amazon has them, but like I said, there are certain things that I always tell people, try to see if you can pick stuff up from Joann's first, because you want to use your coupon. And if you get your military discount, or your teacher's discount, or your senior citizen discount, and all that kind of stuff, okay? Because remember, you want to save those pennies. You know what I'm saying? So, try to do it that way first, okay? And I have the Amazon storefront, but I will always post it if I see that there's like something that the price went down and stuff like that, then I would say, yeah, you know, um, but this is something that I definitely think you can get from Joann's. I remember I did not find it in Joann's, and the first time I bought one, I had to I bought it off of Amazon, and then when the first time I went to Florida, me and Nancy were at Hobby Lobby, and I saw these, so I made sure I got one for me and one for her. Um, and I was kind of like, oh, you know, you got to grab them. But the only thing I think with Hobby Lobby is I don't think they do the coupons anymore. And the thing that I don't like, that's why I'm not much of, I mean, they got nice stuff. Don't get me wrong, they do. But the thing is, they don't do. I don't see any coupons and stuff, and they don't do the military discounts and everything. And that's kind of like, I don't like that. So I always like to shop at Michael's because Michael's does the military discount. They do the teachers discount and all that kind of stuff. And the same thing with Joann's. So those are always my two spots to go. Hobby Lobby is always like my last. If I go there, it's usually to browse. I just like to browse and stuff like that. And if I see that they have something that the other stores didn't have, like this, then I'm like, okay, fine, I'll get it from there because it is cheaper than sometimes getting it from Amazon. Because you got to remember, sometimes in Amazon, the prices can be good, but sometimes they do up the price a little bit because of the prime shipping, right? Because trust me, they're not going to sell you stuff and lose money, right? So, sometimes you're paying for that prime, to get that delivered to you and stuff like that. So, anyway, um, another thing also, labels. Okay, that was a really, really good buy for me. I think I have them here somewhere. Hold on. Um, I know I had them. I had them in my hand. Labels is something that, oh, here they are. Labels is something that I highly recommend that you get, especially, well, you can do two types, okay? If you make stuff to sell, okay, label them, okay? Label them with your shop's thing. So that way people remember where they got that item from. Now, not everybody sews to sell, right? Some people sew because they like to give items away, right? As a gift. So one of the things that I you can do is you can get a label that says made by. So my cousin Betty bought me like a pack of labels and it says made by Jeanette. That's that these are not them. I have them over there, but these are the ones for my Etsy shop. Now, some people make their own labels, but I'm gonna be honest with you. The labels that I found on Amazon are so inexpensive that to me, I kind of looked at it as, why spend all this effort in making my own labels when it's just a couple of bucks and then they'll make them for me and ship it to me because I need to focus on my other stuff. You know what I mean? So for me, it's just more beneficial to just cough up the money and buy my own labels. And then when they come in, I always sew this on the kitchen towels that I sell, the dinner napkins, and if I'm giving something as a gift, like I don't know if you guys saw the video where I gave my mom her family heirloom blanket. Um, it's one of her favorite. I mean, it's I was really kind of touched by her reaction of receiving the blanket. I mean, she really loved it. So label your stuff, label your stuff because it's really good. And then you can do made by Jeanette. And then, and I don't the blanket that I gave her, I actually labeled it made by Jeanette. So that way, so it's just something that to me is kind of worth it. It's something you can do and stuff. Oh God, I'm on the third page, and I'm sorry, guys. I know this is going to be a long one and stuff. Okay, so let me see. Oh, let's talk about feet. All right, sewing feet. Okay, these were good buys as well. So for those guys, and I had videos on these sewing feet. Okay, I have a quilting walking foot. This is a really good buy. Um, I see some on Amazon that are about like 50 bucks. Don't spend 50 bucks on a quilting foot. I didn't spend 50 bucks on this. I know somebody was asking about that on our Facebook page, and I put a link to one that was only $14, okay? It's the same thing, okay? So walking foot, 14 bucks, you're good to go, okay? Also, sewing guides. These are really good too. If you're awful at sewing straight lines, just like I am, okay? I can't sew straight for nothing, okay? Unless I'm drinking wine. Once I'm drinking and stuff like that, I don't know why. I sew straight, okay? Um, and it's funny because like I remember going to college and stuff. Sometimes I would be drinking wine and I would be writing my paper, right? When I was working on my master's degree and I was writing the paper, and then I would hit send, and then I was like, what the hell did I just do? And those papers, I got A's, okay? And then the ones that I did sober, I would get like a B. I was like, ain't that something? So anyway, back to this. Okay, so if you have issues with sewing straight, get these types of feet. Okay, I have this one, and then I also have this one. Okay, that way you can stay straight. Okay, these are really really handy, and they're inexpensive. You can get them off of Amazon, very very inexpensive and stuff like that. Little extra feet for your thing, because sometimes you need to be precise, right? Like sometimes it depends on what you're doing, right? If you're sewing like a wallet, okay, like when I did the wallet for my Esther gift, those have to be precise sewing because it has to be a certain size, right? Because I need the credit cards to fit in the slots and all that kind of stuff. So in those type of projects, it's really important that you're sewing straight and you're sewing at the right size. So I recommend get those sewing feet so that way it's just easy. Okay. Unless you're really good at it. If you're really good at it, then you don't need it, right? So anyway, okay, I'm gonna try to go real fast because I know it's almost like, next thing you know, we'll be saying Happy New Year together. So anyway, all right. So, um, metallic thread. Okay, I did a video on all the metallic threads. I bought some. This was sim thread, embroidery metallic thread. All the metallic threads that I bought, okay, are really good. This is Madeira. They're really good. What is my favorite out of all of them, okay, is the King Star. Okay, my sewing shop does sell the King Star. King Star can be kind of hard to get, so you have to Google it and see what kind of shops sell them. But King Star is really good, and I'm gonna tell you why. These kind of really feel like wire. It really does. It feels wiry, all right? This, for some reason, it is wiry, but it has more of a thread feel. So I just feel like, for some reason, the King Star metallic thread seems to be a better quality for me, you know? So the Madeira is nice, okay? Um, but let me open this one. I know I have one that's already open, but looking at, okay, just touching it right now. This is kind of wiry too. I mean, it's okay. I mean, I'm not saying they're bad. All right. Just remember too, when you're sewing with metallic thread, you have to slow the machine down. Okay. I usually sew at 450 to 500 stitches per minute. I don't go fast. Okay. So, metallic thread, I just really love the King Star. King Star is a thumbs up for me. Okay. Let me see another thing. Rotating mats. I did a video on the rotating cutting mats. Okay, I did two brands. One was a Dali or whatever. The other one was another one. Oh, I have them there. One was green. One was pink. I would not recommend the pink one. I recommend the green one. And if you look at the video that I did on the rotating mat, I'll show you. I tell you in detail what was the difference in those two rotating mats and why, in my opinion, it's really best to go with the green one. Okay, I did end up keeping both, but I have to tell you the green one is the one that if I had to do it all over again and just buy one, I would go with the green one. Okay. Um, Let me see. This was not a good buy for me. I know a lot of people use these, which is the Teflon pressing sheet, okay, for the heat press. I think what it is I just don't use it, okay? So I just did not find this to be, I tried to use it once and it just didn't work for me. I just like using regular Teflon sheet. So To me, this was really not something that was kind of like worth it for me. Let me see. I put fabric marker, and I don't know what fabric marker I'm talking about because I don't have fabric marker. I must have wrote something wrong. Okay, shirt alignment tools. Okay, let's say you need to find out where to start the embroidery for your shirt. I dropped something. Oh, okay. These are really, really good. These rulers, okay, very inexpensive off of Amazon. It's a great place. You go with the neckline, okay, and it'll tell you exactly where to start your design from. So these are pretty good to have, okay. Now, usually if you don't have these, it's not a big deal. I use the rule of thumb of 4 fingers from the neck down for adults. That's how I use it. Now, for kids, okay, all right. For kids, for me, I guess it would be two fingers. So if you're doing like a onesie or something like that, then do 2 fingers. If you're doing a youth, well, a youth maybe 3 fingers, and an adult is 4. Probably a little more than 4. Maybe it's because my hands are small. I don't know. Anyway, um, and I did talk to you guys about the ginger snips. Okay. Oh, I covered it all. I covered it all. Okay. Now there was a couple of things too. Yes. Oh, I also wanted to let you guys know I will be doing a video soon on something that I bought, and I gifted this to my sister for Christmas. It's called the Quilt Cut 2. Okay. What this is a fabric cutting system, and I have it right here next to me. But I'm gonna do a video on this. Okay. The problem that I have right now is I lost my L ruler. I put it away somewhere, and I put it away in such a good place, and now I can't find it. So I know I will find it though. But when I find it, I am going to do a video on this. This is a really neat cutting table. Okay, it helps you to cut precise. So if you're into quilting, this is really, really good. I was introduced by a lady in Fairfax, Virginia. She was selling all her fabrics, and when I went to go buy some of her fabrics, she had this cutting table, and I asked her where she got it. She got it at a quilt show. I copied down the name of it, and I was able to find it on Amazon. And it is a really awesome, neat thing. What I really love about this is it has clamps. Okay, so it goes up, and you feed the fabric in here, and you can pull it out, and then you clamp it down, and it holds the fabric steady. And it actually has, I'm sorry, I got all this stuff on here. It actually has a ruler, and you can place the ruler on here, and then you can just take the rotary cutter and just go shoot, and you get a precise cut. And you can cut your fabric in different angles. Okay, so it's not just 90, you could do 60, 30, 40 degrees. So if you need, precise cuts, this is really, really good. And I love this thing because a lot of times my cutting is off. Okay, I was using my Cricut maker to cut my fabric, but the problem that I don't like about doing that is that the fabric mats on the Cricut maker, the adhesive, it starts to become unsticky. All right, and the blade for cutting the fabric on the Cricut maker gets dull pretty quick, and then you end up buying the blade over and over again. So I just stopped doing that. I just stopped using the Cricut maker to cut my fabric because I just felt that I spent more money using the Cricut maker to cut my fabric than anything because I had to keep replacing the blade, and it's just and I had to replace the blade, and I had to replace the mat for the fabric. So to me it just wasn't cost effective. So I when I saw that the lady had this, and it runs about close to 200. I think it's like 175, something like that. I Even though I know it is kind of pricey, the way I was looking at it was, shoot, with all the money that I'm spending on those Cricut blades and those Cricut mats, I could have one of these, just spend the money once, and then I have this to like for life. And I'm gonna be honest, I have had this mat now for about a year, and I really love the way it cuts. So as soon as I find that ruler, and I will find it because I know I had it in my hand before I left to Florida, and I just placed it somewhere. I just got to figure out where I got it. But once I get that ruler, because I would like to show you guys how to do this, how to use this. And my sister just got it, and you know, I want to do the video so she could see how to use it also. So I mean, it's really a neat tool. The only downside to this, and it's something that me and Nancy were talking about, was, and I think we all have this problem and stuff. When you're into sewing and everything, you end up needing space. Okay. Sometimes some of us have this little space, and you start with the sewing machine, but then next thing you know, you need your thread, you need this, you need that, whatever. Once again, this is pretty big. Okay, this is my rotating table, and you can see I'm already like all over the place. Okay, I'm moving this over here. This is my rotating table, and here is my cutting mat. Okay, so as you can see, this is pretty big. Okay, it's nothing small. It's pretty big, so it takes space. All right, so and then this is the ruler that comes with it, and you just snap it in, and you put your fabric in here, and you just feed it in, and then you can just cut it, and this can move. Isn't that cool? And then you get precise cuts. You get precise cuts. So I thought this was definitely worth every penny. I'm telling you, because when I thought about all the blades that I was replacing with the Cricut Maker and all that, and the mats and everything like that, I mean, I could just take my fabric, open this up, feed it in, and then just cut. I mean, it's just like, this is definitely a buy. But like I said, the only downside is it takes a lot of space. So you're going to have to find, where you can place this, right? So that you can cut your fabric and all that kind of stuff. So that's the only thing, is that it does take space and all that kind of stuff. So you just got to find the space. So it's kind of like, but this works really well. And another good buy, I'm telling you, man, if you need a table, get one of these with wheels. I love this thing because I get to move it all over the room. Okay, and I get to position it. Sometimes I'm at these machines, and I get to work on this. And I got my hooping mat here, and you can just, I mean, it's like really, I love this table, and I love this cutting mat. So this is definitely a good buy. I really am. Oh, where did you get the needle? Okay, so it's called. There's an Etsy store called Sew 3, the number 3 more. All my coverings, okay? She did all of them for me. If you want one for the Cricut Maker, she did mine. She did mine for my SC 1900, okay, which is there. And I got all my machines covered because I came back from Florida. I haven't turned them on yet. And this is my 10 needle machine cover, and then this is my 6 needle machine cover. It's SEW, the number 3 more. And if you go to her Etsy shop, you're gonna see she does the clear vinyl, which I love. And I love the clear because I like seeing my machine. I actually like looking at my machine. So, and what you do is you pick the color of your lining of the edge. And she does a beautiful job and stuff. I got green for the 6 needle, orange for the 10 needle, blue for my SC 1900, and red for my Cricut Maker. And I am going to be reaching out to her because I know my Juki came with a cover, but I would like to get a custom cover for my Juki 1210 as well, because it's really good to cover your machines, especially if you're going on vacation and stuff like that. You don't want dust falling on it and stuff like that. But I have to be honest. I mean, I use these machines so much that they're barely covered, So, but I always have the covers for them, because if I have to go on vacation or something like that, then I always cover it and stuff like that. So, I am at an hour and a half. for this happy hour, and I had told the lady that I was going to cover some things about businesses and everything. So what I will do is for next Friday coming up, I will talk a little bit about business expenses and all that kind of stuff and how I do the accounting stuff for my business. um I am going to let you guys know I am not an accountant, okay? I'll just tell you how I do things, all right? And how they see to work for me. And but I'll do that for next happy hour and stuff, because it is 9:30 and midnight is coming, and I know you guys want to be with your family and stuff like that to bring in the new year and stuff. So, I really hope you guys have found this video helpful. But I do want to go down the chat room and stuff just in case there are questions out there and I can answer it. Let me touch this. I'm always afraid of touching the machine because a couple of times in the past, it's like, I kind of like, you know, muted myself or something. But anyway, and I always like to say hi to everybody too and stuff like that. Hey Cheryl, I see Cheryl and Erica and Teresina, Miss Petty. Hey Robin, hey Iris and Norma. Hey Anma, how are you? And Happy New Year to all you guys. And so, hey Eartha, hey Beth. I see Donna. Hey Joanna. And so, hey Miss Max. Hey Trisha. Hey Karen. Crack the Puerto Ricans on. How you doing? Hey Letitia. And I am going to scroll down. Hey Angela. Hey Trisha. Thank you so much for the super chat, Trisha. I appreciate that. Hey Mary. Hey Eartha. I see my sisters on. Hey Nancy. Thank you for taking the time to be with us tonight. Oh, Karen, you're welcome. I enjoy these Fridays. I look forward to them. I will say in the beginning when I was doing these embroidery happy hours, I had like a little bit of anxiety because I always feel like nobody's gonna be on. But you guys kind of like keep me going and stuff. And I enjoy sharing this information with you guys. I really, really do and stuff. So because I like helping you guys and everything. Okay, where did you get your Juki? Christine, I got it off of Amazon. I believe the price is about 999. It's the same price as a Brother SC 1900. It was like 1,000 and stuff, but I did get it. Nancy's asking me to show the new fabrics yet. I have not. What me and my sister did when I was in Miami was we shopped at two fabric stores. We went to uh, World Fabrics and we went to Rex Fabrics. So what I'm going to do is I already started taping that. I did a tape of, me showing you guys the fabrics of what I bought and everything like that. I've been getting into velvet, guys. I don't know why, but I just love velvet. So it's like I've been shopping for velvet all over the place. As you can see, this is a scrunchie that I made out of the velvet that I bought. This one I bought at Joann's though. I didn't, I also bought velvet from where did I buy it? Fabric World in Miami. And they were kind of pricey. I'm telling you, when you go to these unique fabric stores, the prices are really up there. It's kind of like, but they're unique. They're different types of fabrics, and that's what I kind of like about it. That's the whole reason why I wanted to go to them. So, but I am going to do a video to show you guys what I bought and stuff. Um, hey Denise, how are you? Hey Amanda. Sewing thread does look cheap compared to the embroidery thread unless you buy 100% cotton. Yeah, Robin. I mean, it just looks really cheap. And to me, when I looked at the sewing thread, I just feel like there's going to be lint all over the place. So I don't know. It just wasn't I wasn't a fan of it, and I think it's probably because of the embroidery thread. The embroidery thread looks so nice and shiny and clean, and then when you look at the sewing thread, it was kind of like so different. So it could be too that the type of thread. Maybe I just need to buy polyester sewing thread and stuff like that. So the second one are my favorite snip scissors. Mine have lasted sharp and stuff. Where did you get your heat press? I have one, but I don't like it. Hey, Iris, go to Pro World. It's called Pro World Inc. They have a lot of heat presses. They even sell the sublimation printer. And I got that this heat press. I got it. I love it because it has the pull out drawer. Okay. And I've had it now for about 3 years, and it seems to work really well. So I do recommend that one. I was looking at some of them that were on Amazon, but I didn't want to get one from Amazon because when you look at some of those heat presses on Amazon, you get so many mixed reviews. You have some people that love it, and then you have some people that are like, "Oh, it's trash, don't get it." So you don't kind of like know where to go. And when I went to Pro World, they had nothing but 5 stars. So I was kind of like, "Oh, okay." So I was like, "Let me give them a shot." And I'm glad I did because this heat press really does seem to work well for me. I like it. And if I didn't believe any I believe my sister, I think Nancy has that heat press too, because she used to run a t-shirt business, her and her husband, and I think this was the heat press that they were using. I'm not sure and stuff. um I have one. Doesn't open up. Yeah, I mean, this heat press I really like and stuff. Let's see. Mello did not take the Mello is not going to be taking my scissors. No, Nancy. she keeps getting she keeps getting Mello in trouble, I tell you. Mel's not gonna like Fifi. Let me see. Christy, I enjoyed watching you this year. Thanks for all your tips and tricks. Love your style. Look forward to next year. Oh, thanks, Christine. I appreciate it. And so I'm glad you like the videos and everything. And I'm gonna keep them coming. You're gonna see more videos more often because now I told myself as I work, I'm gonna have the camera on. That way I can show you guys what I do, how I do it, because I think was what happened this past year is I was scheduling projects, but I was working too. So I'm like, I could have shown, after I would finish something, I'm like, I could have filmed that, I didn't think about that. So now I just like, whenever I'm turning on the machine, if I'm working on something, I'm just going to videotape it and I'm just going to put it out there so you guys can see what I'm doing and how I'm doing it and stuff like that. And then hopefully you guys can learn and stuff. I use the dots all the time. Hey, Sandy. Yeah, I got that from the I think it's Aqua Bloom Boutique, Zoa. And when I saw her do that, I was like, oh my God, that's a great idea. So yeah, and it works great. Um, hey Robin, can I say thank you enough? You've helped me this year. I look forward to many more hours. Oh, thank you, Robin. I'm glad. I'm glad that this has helped you a lot. You can get it from the dollar store. Hey, Iris, if you can get, I'm telling you, all the stuff that I showed you guys, a lot of stuff I've gotten off of Amazon. But I'm telling you right now, if you want to get it off of Amazon, please use my Amazon store link. But what I'm saying is, don't feel obligated either, because remember, it's about saving money. Okay, so if you guys can find something that we're using that I purchased off of Amazon, if you guys see that it's cheaper in Joann's or Hobby Lobby or the dollar store or something like that, post it on the Facebook group, okay, so that we can all save the money. Because believe me, we're we're spending a lot of money on this crap, okay? So any penny counts and stuff. So if you guys could see something cheaper or something like that, let us know and stuff. Please share it. Um, let's see. Let's see. That size of heat and bond would work on your sewing labels as well, even though you stitch them in place. Trish, that's a very good. You're right, because it is not that thick either. Um, Printouts. Let's see. Oh, I have a lot of printouts. Thank you for the tip. I watched those video, but I didn't see that. Maybe I missed the tutorial. Thanks, Jen. Hey, yeah, I saw her doing a shirt, and that's where she used the dots and stuff. Struggle so hard. Aging sucks. Who you kidding? Yep. My glasses are getting thicker and thicker. I take pictures with my phone and then blow it up. Hey, that's a good idea. What Joanne said, if you don't have a magnifying glass or whatever, just take a picture and blow it up. I mean, that's a good, I did not even think about doing that. Oil can be a pain. Yes, it can. Hey Allison. Okay, the dust cover sew 3 more. That's the name of her Etsy shop and stuff. And she's good. I'm telling you. I mean, I've ordered I all my covers came from her. And I just love them because of the clear plastic. I really do. Because I like to look at my machine and stuff. Have you tried the True Cut blade? Just open it, right on the edge of straight line. Oh, Lisa, I didn't know about that. I'm gonna have to look at that. What brand is that blue rotary cutter? Oh, the brand is called Kia, which is Kai. Okay, and where is it? Kai. And if you were to look on Amazon, that's the only place I've been able to find it. Is if you type Kai and then it's RS-45. Okay. You'll find this. I mean, and it's and also if you go to my Amazon store, the link to this is there as well. So hey Jacqueline, how are you? Hey Pamela. Yes, it's Kaya. Yes, Pamela, it is. I'm gonna try to buy a protective glove. That's a good idea too. The protective glove is not a bad idea. I found that the pins do get dull and it becomes yep. And I'm finding that too, Iris and stuff. And I was kind of disappointed when the heads were falling off because I was kind of like, well, sometimes like I said, you get what you paid for and stuff. Yep, I use the Wonder Clips too. Wonder Clips are a very good buy. But sometimes I interchange. I use the pins and sometimes I use Wonder Clips as well. Oh, I didn't know Clover made pins. Maybe I should look into that as well. Oh, the glass head pins. Wonder Clips. Yep, I like the Wonder Clips. I use Wonder Clips all the time and stuff. Hey, Cleety, Igna. I think it's Igna. Inca. Hey, Lisa. Medical thing. Hey, Angela. It's called Bobkin. Bobkin. Y'all know my English is a mess, right? Let's see. Oh, Miss Max, thank you so much. I appreciate that. That's so sweet. Thank you. I'm buying that rotary cutter myself for my birthday now. It looks amazing. Hey, Lisa. It is. I'm going to do a video on it so you guys can see exactly how I use it and work it. I mean, it is such a really, really neat thing. There is one thing too more that I want to show you guys before, and because I glanced it over, I think things fell over it. There was something that I bought, what I wanted for my brother SC 1900, okay? But this ended up being a flop for me, okay? The Brother SC 1900 on the sewing machine, it has like a little light, right? Well, the little light isn't really exactly too bright. And if you're trying to sew at night, it wasn't easy on my eye. So I wanted a little brighter light. So I went on Amazon and I started doing sewing machine lights, right? And they had all these lamps. And I have a lamp. I have a lamp back there too. But I wanted to know if there's any type of sewing machine light for the actual machine itself. I saw that some people have these LED strips and they're putting them around the machine and they turn them on to do that. And I was kind of like, okay, but I really don't want to put like stickers all over the machine, right? Because I kind of like the way my machine looks. It looks pretty. I found this, okay? This is called it's by Caterpillar and it's called a Flex Light. Now this is going back, okay? This is not going to work for me. First of all, I had a little hole in here. And when I clicked on it, I don't know if I got like a duh, like a lemon and stuff. But when I clicked on it, it didn't work. This is supposed to be something that you can hook on the back of your machine, right? And then it has this little light, and then I should be able to move it so that you can see. So the light never worked, okay? And it's supposed to be rechargeable, okay? And I had an extension cord. I put it in. I had it charging for about like 5 hours, and it said that it should charge fully within 2 hours, right? And charged it for 5, pressed the button, and this is all I got. Okay. Now, another thing that I kind of, it was kind of disappointing, right? And I was like, well, thank God I didn't take it out of the container, right? But then when I turned it around, okay, I read this thing and it says, warning, this product can expose you to chemicals, including lead, which is known to the state of California to cause cancer and birth defects and other reproductive harm. So it's going back. Because I know we're all going to go, but I don't need to go that fast. Okay. So I figured, okay. So I found that kind of interesting. Now, I will say this. I give credit to that company for letting people know and putting that in there, okay? So to me, I just look at it as, all right, I would look at their products, okay, for the simple reason that that to me shows honesty. Now, it could be too that maybe by law there's the need to put that there and stuff, but there's a lot of shady people out there, and sometimes they don't disclose everything. So just by them putting in that, they kind of got a little win-win from me, okay? Unfortunately, though, um, knowing this, it's not something that I want to put on my machine. I don't think that I'm gonna put it on and then I'll drop dead right away, but the thing is, why rush it, right? I mean, why, I want to be like Betty White, I want to live to 99, So if I can, isn't that sad? She died today. I was hoping she would reach 100. I was like, my girl, she's tired, so she just needs to rest, I guess. But rest in peace, Betty White. I loved you. I mean, oh my God, that was depressing when me and Fred heard that. I was like, oh gosh, she really, I was like, wow, okay. But like I said, um, it didn't work. First of all, it didn't work, and I was kind of like, okay, maybe I just got a lemon. But then when I read the back, I said, well, I don't need anything to rush me, so I'm like, okay, I'll just take it back. So I already started the refund process, the return process through Amazon, so I'll be taking this one back. So I forgot to mention this one. So this to me is a no. I don't recommend that. Okay, so I still am kind of looking for a light. And if I find something that helps to brighten up the SE 1900 a little better, I will definitely let you guys know. I'm gonna probably talk to my husband and see if he can pop open that little light thing and see the light bulb. See, maybe if I can buy a brighter light to put inside the machine, and if that's the case, then I'll do a video to show how we change the light bulb in the SE 1900, so that maybe you guys can do that. But I'm just gonna keep searching and stuff like that to just let you guys know, what I come up with. But I don't recommend that, for the simple reason that they have that little warning in the back, and the one that I received just didn't work at all. So this is definitely a no. So this is going back. Another thing that I bought that is this. I bought a free quilting hoop thing that you just put it on, and you're supposed to like quilt to do free hand-free motion quilting. I'm gonna be unboxing this, and I'm gonna do a video on this and show you guys how this works. I probably will be demonstrating this on my Juki and not the SC 1900, just so that because it has more room, just to see how free motion quilting works using these hoops. So I'll let you guys know how this turns out. Okay, we'll definitely have a video coming on this as well and stuff. But I know I have been long-winded. We are getting close to like 8, 9, ooh, wow, 2 hours and stuff. And you guys have been hanging in there with me, and I really appreciate it. But, as always, I just kind of like to share all this information with you guys to help you guys and stuff, and everything. And as always, I know that some of you guys have reached out to me, for help. And, I just want the new folks to know also, if you need help with something, or, if you just, feel discouraged or whatever, just send me an email, and I'll try to help you out as best as I can, so that to get you going and all that kind of stuff. So if you need help with your machine or something like that, just reach out, send me an email. My email address is on the YouTube channel. And and also use the Facebook group that we have, the Embroidery Happy Hour Adventures Facebook group. That is a great place to ask for help. So if you get stuck or something like that, take a video of what's happening and everything, put it on the group. Everybody in that group is so friendly and everything. I make sure of that, okay? Because that is something that is very, very important to me. I want everyone to have a safe place where they can feel that they can ask anything, ask for help, help each other out, and everything like that. I will not be tolerating any type of bullying or anything like that. That's just not going to happen. So if I see anything, trust me. And if you guys see anything, reach out to me, okay, and let me know, and I'll make sure it gets taken care of and stuff. Because that's our group. I call it an embroidery family, and it's out. The whole purpose of that group is so that we can support one another and help each other learn and grow. Okay, so I really, that group is really dear to my heart and everything. And I want that to be really special for you guys as well and stuff like that. So in 2 hours, guys, we will be entering 2022. And I want to wish all you guys a happy, happy new year. Please enjoy and be careful out there. And, I also want to say thank you so much for everything, all the support and everything that you guys have done. I know you guys always say thank you to me for helping you guys, but obviously, I just want you guys to know you guys mean a lot to me. This channel means a lot to me. The Facebook group, I have met people, even in person through the channel, and it feels good. And I really love that you guys have allowed me the opportunity to help teach and guide you and share information with you. And even some of you guys have shared information with me. When I went to Norma's house, the last time in my that I went to Miami, I mean, she showed me so much of her work. It was beautiful, and I enjoyed that time with her. I really did. And she even showed me little tips and tricks of how she does things and stuff. And it was really great. And I would love to meet more of you guys, you know, um, and stuff. Like, I know Crafty Puerto Rican, I know she is only one state away from me, I believe. So I would love to meet up with her one day and stuff. And if any of you guys are in Maryland or Virginia, I would just love it, because I really do enjoy the interaction. I love the exchange of information, the sharing and stuff like that. And I just hope it continues to grow. And I just hope that more and more people join the channel, and more people share information and stuff like that. So I really want to say thank you to all you guys for all your support and all the love and everything, and the opportunity that you guys have provided me here. And if you guys know of anybody else that is into sewing and embroidery, please share the channel with them. Please share the Facebook group with them as well, because that way they can take advantage of all the information and everything as well. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna call it the night, because before you know it, 2022 is coming, and I'm going to go downstairs and spend some quality time with Fred and Mello. They're in the basement right now because when New Year's come, they do the fireworks, and fireworks and dogs sometimes they don't really go hand in hand. They don't go well together, because the dogs get nervous. So when 4th of July and New Year's Eve, we usually hang out in the basement, because you don't really hear the fireworks that much, because in my neighborhood, they do like to do the fireworks. So I always like to do something. And yes, Juanita, we definitely do need to plan a date, to meet and all that stuff. I would really love that. I mean, because I love your channel too. And if you guys haven't checked out her channel, please do. Crafty Puerto Rico, she has her own channel. And I think she's almost at the 1,000 for subscribers. So I really would like for all of us to like help her out and stuff, and get her there and stuff. So like I said, guys, you guys have a good night, and I will see you guys next year. Please be safe and enjoy the rest of 2021. It's been a fantastic year, and I cannot wait to spend 2022 with you guys. So guys, talk to you later. Have a great night. Bye.